start. So I'm obviously working on Cadence, and my goal for Stugan was to launch on Steam Early Access. And to be honest, that was based on learning from our Kickstarter, where a lot of people were like, this game looks very ready, why aren't you releasing it yet? So it was like, well, okay, let's actually try and get it to a release as soon as possible so that we can, take the next step with the game. Not surprisingly, that didn't happen while I was here because, well, we always underestimate things. And I think one of the key things was trying to really figure out what we needed to add to the game to have a successful launch where before we didn't. So this is what the game looked like when I arrived. The basic mechanics haven't really changed. You're trying to find loops, and you do that by connecting dots. And for me, the sort of million-dollar idea in Cadence was the fact that it's a puzzle game, but it's also a puzzle game that has this musical element to it. So you can build or make your own music in the game. And I think this is quite a powerful thing for, say a 12-year-old child or a kid, who likes music or doesn't even know that they like music yet. And this would be a great way for them to discover that love. So we had this music editor, and we'd kind of been working on it a little bit, and it was really awful and really terrible. And so adding new nodes was this very cumbersome process. It wasn't very fun. And one of the first things I did when I arrived here was really thinking about how people would understand this and how people would interact with it. And what I very quickly realized was that this, the same sort of underlying technology is there, but people have no way of appreciating it. And it's really important that people can click with the idea and the main selling point. And it's one thing me sort of trying to tell people, oh, it's really cool because you can do this, and it's a completely different thing letting people experience that for themselves and getting the game to demonstrate that to them. So with Steam Early Access, one of the things you need box art. And I had a very talented friend in South Africa who put together this amazing concept art for us. And this was a very inspirational point because it kind of finally felt like things were starting to come together. And it started to feel real. And inspired by this, I then spent a little bit of time working on the look and feel of the game. But I also very quickly found that I thought it would be very quick to get a lot of sort of visual impact into the game, and then it kind of started taking a lot longer than I thought it would. And then I decided to step away from that again and actually focus on the editor, because that's what I was really trying to get done. But I did upgrade the visuals a little bit, so it's just a little bit more shiny and a little bit more polished. And for me, this is very close to what the final game will feel like. And I'm planning to push the colors a bit more, planning to get it to feel a bit more alive once the music starts playing. But pretty much, I'm very happy with that. The progress is pretty much all there. Of course, the main thing was the level editor. So now it looks something like this. And if I come here, the biggest difference is that it's now very quick and easy to create things. So I'm gonna do that right now. And I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna create a Stugan. instantly way more powerful, kind of, really gets to the heart of what I want Cadence to be. It still has a while to go. There's a lot of very rough edges, which isn't just my very high standards coming to play, it's things that people will get stuck and that it doesn't explain to them. So recently I kind of understood that we weren't going to hit my revised deadline that I set for myself, which was 3 weeks after Stugan. The game needs a bit more work than that, and I think there's no way around that, because I really feel like we're close to something really special, and that if we get it right, it will go so much further than if we just miss it. That's a bit terrifying, because at the same time I've pretty much completely run out of money, and really the Steam date that we set for ourselves was more when my money ran out rather than when the game was going to be ready. So it's going to be a very creative couple of months. I think a lot of 2-minute noodles in my future. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out, and that's a bit of an intimidating place to be in. And in a way, it's not just the game that's really developed at Stugan, it's myself. I've been in this grind for a long while now, and I think as indie developers we very much attach our identities to our game, and that's certainly my reality right now. My identity is completely attached to this game, and trying to get it to succeed is very much weighing heavily on me. And I think Stugan's been amazing because it's allowed me to step away a little bit, and it's allowed me to really understand the things that were going in with myself and really have people to share my story with, and I'm very grateful for that, so thank you everyone.